Welcome to the Lightworker podcast. I am your host, Natalie Grant. I am a Lightworker, a meditation facilitator, Reiki master, and a health and wellness enthusiast who thrives on helping people. Connection is my superpower, and I just love bringing people to a space where transformation can occur. Are you looking for information on being a Lightworker? Are you a Lightworker and just love collecting knowledge from other Lightworkers?
When you were in Reiki 1 and your entire life you've been taught to seek external approval, to find your answers from other people, other sources other than yourself. Then you come along to one of my crazy workshops where I'm trying to tell you to do something different. I would like to know, what sort of change did that create for you?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Go, tell us.
Oh,
what sort of, just start there. So how I want this podcast to be is very casual.
Yes.
All right, I don't want to have the whole, now this is the podcast and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
I just want to get on the couch and just talk, just share the inside of these walls where the magic kind of happens, because this is where it's like a cone of silence in here, and unless you've been in here, you've no idea what the power of being in here is like. And I feel like it's time to sort of share that the discoveries that people make inside these 3 walls.
3 walls? 4
Well, there's a glass on that side.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I was like, what dimension are we?
But yeah, I just want it to be really casual and just, sharing from our hearts, just what it is like to be on a spiritual path, what it is really like to be on a spiritual path, because it isn't all sunshine and roses and daisies and running through fields with your arms spread and all the rest of it like the internet wants you to know. It's challenging, and it's learning to take personal responsibility for wherever you're at in your life. And when you take personal responsibility, that's when you start creating the life you want.
Oh, totally.
So, Abbi Ricker, welcome to the Lightworker podcast.
Thank you.
And coming to sit on my blue couch.
Yeah,
and
I've sat here many times.
This is as informalness as I want to get, really, because I would like you to share you.
Cool.
And us to have a discussion about the crazy stuff we talk about.
I'm always up for that.
So tell us what you do. Let's start there, right? So tell people what it is that Abbi Ricker does. Well,
I do whatever I want, which is so liberating. That's really... Usually if people ask me, what do I do, or what have you been up to? That's my answer. I've been doing whatever I want to do. Yeah. Which has, I guess, at one stage felt like an impossible dream, because I just was, working the 9-to-5 kind of lifestyle where you have to ask permission to have a break or go for a holiday, or you have to say no to things that you would like to do, but because, X, Y, Z. Yeah. So to be in a stage of life where I do feel I can kind of make a choice, I can decide what do I want to do, and know that I have the ability to make it happen. And it's been so liberating. That's so huge to me, because definitely an old version of me would never have thought that. I would just thought this is the way things go, and this is the path, and there's not really an alternative there. But with that came this sense of but I feel like some part of me is saying that surely there is something more to life than this. I'm not just going to do this until I retire or die. But I did not know.
What was that? Because that's the thing. You get to a certain part of your life and there's something that starts rising in you.
Saying there's surely something else. And I really had said, if I I wish I had a passion. If I had a passion, or if I knew the thing for me to do, I'd go do it, but I don't know where is it? Who can tell me what it is? How do I find it? I mean, for me, it was triggered by a friend, and I think actually a lot of things in my life are triggered by people that come along, especially people that come along and ask a question or show me something, and it either lights me up and I feel really excited by it, or this one's actually my strongest motivator. I feel jealous, I feel irritated, I feel niggled by it, I feel like, oh, what are they doing? Who do they think they are? No one needs to do that. Whatever it is, it's quite, you might see it as negative, but I've learnt that there's a part of me going, I want that. And I've, in the past, been afraid that wasn't possible for me. I see it differently now, and I see it as such a gift. It doesn't matter if it feels positive or negative, there's an energy there saying, hey, pay attention to this. There's something here. Like, feel that energy in your body. It's telling you something. And when, with Reiki, that was my big kind of awakening. It was a friend learning Reiki, a really good friend, and I noticed a huge change in her. And I thought, I didn't realize it was jealousy, but that's what it was. I read a post about jealousy, and every part of me went, that's what this is. Because I thought, what's wrong with me? I'm a bad friend. I shouldn't be feeling negatively towards her. She seems so happy. She seems really different. She seems lit up. But yeah, when I read the jealousy post saying jealousy is your soul's way of telling you want something and it's possible and you're just not doing it, I was like, that's what this is. And then I didn't feel jealous anymore. I actually felt very grateful because I saw that actually it was an invitation saying, this is your friend who's very similar to you, and she's gone and done this thing that you never thought possible. You thought you had to maybe be psychic or be some special spiritual chosen person, and your friend who you really relate to, she's doing it, and you can see the difference. That's actually an invitation. This is possible for you too. So that was exciting.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what? Okay, well, what am I going to do? And what I did was come for a Reiki session with you because you were her teacher.
How fun.
So I was like, then I didn't realize the power of asking and how easy it is to ask. I was like sleuthing, and I found out you were her teacher. And I
so you didn't ask her?
I didn't even ask her. It sounds so ridiculous, but I was very much hidden. I was afraid to show myself in any way, even to my friend, to say, hey, who did you learn from? I'm interested in that. I was scared to even do that. So I was, sleuthing, and I thought, well, I'll go have a Reiki session with this lady and I'll see what it's all about. Because I had a judgment about Reiki that when I luckily kind of looked at it, went, actually, how do I think I know what Reiki is? I've never received it. Why am I kind of shutting it off when I've not even tried it? Like, maybe I should make a judgment after I've tried this thing. And so I came along to you and was in this space and had such an amazing experience. Could feel things in my body without you even touching me. It was nothing like my, I guess, ego judging mind had thought Reiki was at all. Mm-hmm. And I just came out in a daze, and you said to me, mark in your calendar 21 days from now and just notice what happens in this time period. Like, it's good to just have a marker because we tend to just get on with life and forget. And the 21st day, I was sitting in your Reiki 1 class. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's such a cool story. I love my own story. I just think it's so, it was like, hey, get up, get going.
Time to get your bottom there.
Yeah. And I booked it maybe a day or two before. I didn't come out thinking, I've got to learn that.
Yeah.
But I obviously felt something shift and was like, whoa, what just happened?
Well, even that you took a moment to pause to see what shifted is liberating, because a lot of people just are swept up in life and they only notice when things aren't working for them.
Yes.
They don't actually spend very much time pausing and checking in when things are working for them. Yeah. If we spend as much time looking at what is working for us versus what's not, we'd actually get a lot further.
Yeah. Well, I think in my story I missed what I do, which is now, I am now, just like you,
Yeah.
a Reiki teacher and practitioner, which I never would have guessed that's where it took me, but it absolutely took me there. And everything spiritual, energy, light language has become a huge part of what I do and share, but it's all about empowering people. It's all about, I guess, once you experience something that's profound and life-changing, you want to share it with people. So it's sharing all of that, and it doesn't stop. I continue to learn, I continue to grow, and then that gets shared, and we all kind of end up moving together, which is really cool. But I notice it with clients, like they've said, oh yeah, I didn't realize how good I actually did feel after having a Reiki session until I felt not so great again and went, oh, what's wrong? Oh, actually, yeah, I haven't felt like this for months. And actually, it was when I had that Reiki session, I felt so good for so long, and now I'm not. And that's when they come back again.
Like it's worn off.
Yeah, they go, oh, I wasn't sure I noticed much until I wasn't feeling good again.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
So tell us about your Reiki 1 experience, because that can be different for everybody.
It was a bit of a daze, like, the attunements it's an energy process. So I didn't come with any expectations. I didn't try and look up anything. I just came like, well, I've been guided here and I'll just see what happens. Yeah, it was a beautiful day, but yeah, it was a bit of a daze, and it was like constantly, where am I? What am I doing? Am I crazy? Like, what is all this? But I remember at the end of the day, you and another lady saying, oh, you're glowing, you look so different. And I mean, I've noticed that myself in people just having a Reiki session or in teaching it, especially level 1, the start of the day versus the end of the day. We really should do before and after photos.
We really should do before and after
because it is like a beauty glow up treatment. People look different
without all the lotions and potions.
Yeah.
Don't need them.
Feeling that their energy feels differently.
It feels completely different, yeah.
And I mean, I know that after it, I was, part of it is self-awareness, especially encouraged for the next 21 days, is to do yourself Reiki. Spend time being aware. Like, Reiki is about bringing awareness to yourself, and you can get to know yourself on a deeper level. So I was very like, oh, what am I noticing? What am I feeling? And I remember it was, a week or two after, I used to always go to the beach to look for, I'm feeling flat. I want to go to the beach and be like, wow, it's so beautiful. Like, I should be so grateful for this. And again, often something was missing. Yep. It's like trying to find that feeling. It's like I knew that feeling was possible, but I just could not access it. And after being attuned to Reiki, walking to the beach, I couldn't even see the beach yet. I was just walking out the path, and I was just hit by this wave of intense gratitude. I was just looking at the sky, just the trees around the path, and I just was like, wow. It was just like a light was on, and suddenly the world looked very different. And when I saw the beach, I had tears, and I was like, I've seen this beach so many times, but it's clear the beach isn't different. I'm different. Something has changed, and I've been attuned to Reiki. I'm working with this energy. I'm getting to know myself. Like, this is it. And I had a student go, oh, I kind of made fun with love and light, but after she did level 1, she's like, Abby, I get it. Love and light. So I'm like, yes, yeah, we're those people now. We're the love and light people. But it feels so good.
It does feel good. But it's interesting because that is one of the catches, I think, that happen, is the expectation of love and light.
Yes.
Which kind of takes us back to that original point of when less than love and light is rising in us. Kind of what the natural instinct for people to do is to try and get rid of it.
Yes.
Try and stop it. Try and fix it.
Yeah. So level 1, after that felt great, felt amazing. We're like, level 2, well, let's go. After level 2,
what happened?
I think it says in the book, or one of the things is like, well, you would have said it as well, with new tools come new responsibility, with new knowledge comes new challenges. And I thought, woo, here we go. Level 2, going to go even higher. I'm going to feel even better. No. It's now time to look at all those things, that all your self-doubt, all your impatience, all your let's get to an outcome. All those, some people will call it the shadow.
Yeah. There's different terminology that people use for all sorts of things.
It's the uncomfortable things.
Yeah.
And it was sit in this.
Yeah, be with it.
Be with it and get to know this. This is part of you too.
Yeah.
This has been operating a lot of your outlook on the world, your decisions, your interactions with people, your beliefs about yourself.
Yeah.
And we're still working with Reiki, but becoming again more aware. Yeah, what am I thinking? What are those thoughts in my head? Do I want to say those things about myself? All of that. So. And I had like oracle cards. Every time I'd pull a card, going, oh, come on, what's coming? And be like, patience, wait, learning about yourself. I'm like,
And then that just gets the emotions boiling.
Yeah, I was like, I just want the magic. I want to be like, I
want to be back to level 1. That is something that so many people will say, is that what happened? I had such a great experience with level 1, then I get attuned to level 2 and it all turns, dark or horrible or whatever. It must be the Reiki.
Yeah.
The Reiki did this to me, and then they blame, again, with an external blame.
Yeah.
When in truth, what it's doing is everything around you starts being a mirror.
Mm.
Everything shows you your deepest, darkest fears.
Yeah.
And all of those deepest, darkest fears have been operating unconsciously for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the opportunity
to
bring it to the light and to get to know it. And to, I like looking at it as, if I can see all of it, I can then choose.
Yes. Yeah.
But if I can't see it, I don't even know I have a choice.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's all just operating in an unconscious, under the radar kind of way, and you find yourself in situations and you later on reflect going, why am I there? Why is that my experience? At least asking a question helps the universe to send you an answer back.
Yes.
Rather than sitting there going, oh yes, that happened because.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm always encouraging of asking questions, and I know you do the same in your classes now.
I was literally just thinking about the question thing. So yeah, let's go there.
Let's go there. Give us one of the deepest, darkest things that rose from level 2.
Oh my gosh. I don't know about that. There was
just whatever's right there on your chest. Share that.
There was all layers of that, but what I was thinking of was one of the biggest takeaways that was a real perspective shift. Was in level 1 you talking about, it's just natural, we're learning to do things, and we're saying, Nat, what's it mean if this happens, or should I feel this, or da-da-da-da. And a lot of the time your response is, oh, well, just ask. You'll just have to ask. And in level 2, when we're using, I think, pendulums more, and so you're using that as a gauge of, it's really your own yes or no, but...
You're learning to find your own yes and no.
Yeah, and ask, but really open up to asking questions. And that was probably the first time that I'd really explored the concept of, okay, I'm asking a question, not of you, I'm not looking in the book for an answer. I'm asking this question with the, assumption or opening to
curiosity.
Some part of me or some greater force or whatever you want to refer it as, that's where this answer is going to come from. And that my whole life it was taught, if someone asks you a question, I'll know the answer if I read the book and did my study. If I'm asked questions on this exam, well, I will know the questions if I've read the right books and I've talked to the right people and I've listened and I've remembered. It was never encouraged that this answer could come from within you without any of that. And Reiki was that was an opening to, whoa, okay, that's interesting. And experimenting with that and starting to find these answers are coming, and some people will label that like a download. It's like information that you didn't know that you knew or could access. And it's like, what else do we know that we don't know or can access? Or, you know, it feels different in your body when that knowing comes, that answer, and it's not through your mind. It's not, oh, I'm accessing my memory and pulling that bit of information through. This is a different feeling. I'm talking about things that I didn't know.
You have to Google later.
Yeah, is this real? It feels very true. I didn't plan to say this, but this is what's coming out in it. And people, you know, and I know when I hear it from others or they hear it from me, there's a response. There's like, we all ripple with this. Yeah.
There's a weird internal compass that can read truth.
Yes.
In us. And that takes time to find in us. And the only person that can find that is you.
Yeah, and that takes, like, for me, Reiki was the path to exploring that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at first I was exploring it in a Reiki sense, just with myself, or if I was practicing on other people, you know, doing that. And it might be as simple as, oh, you know, I'm getting in my own head, okay, where should I place my hands? Oh, I'm suddenly getting an image or a feeling, or I'm just finding myself just looking at their feet. Okay, great, I'll go there.
Yeah. And
so, you know, it was a recalibration of, instead of what should I do next because I've learnt something, I've learnt it a certain way, it's, oh, what's this different path of knowing telling me? And the more I followed that, the more then it starts to filter out into everyday life. And that's when things really get exciting and interesting, because suddenly, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm leaving my job. Oh, wow. Okay. And the more that I just asked those open questions and followed it, things
start happening, don't they?
Yes. And they, like, what I would label good things.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a ride. It's a huge ride.
Yeah.
And so, as a teacher, because it's the thing that I love about being a teacher of it, is the joy that you get watching other people go through that same process of discovery.
Yes.
What's that like for you?
Oh, it is awesome. Like, so, I mean, number one, whenever you step into something just because someone else did it, you know, you want to believe, oh, I can do it too. I feel it, and, you know, I've checked in, yes, this feels resonant with me. It feels like I'm doing it because I feel compelled to do it, not because I like them and I want to be like them, or they know something I don't know and I want to get it, so I know it too and feel special. Like, it's, you know, it's a real, no, this deeply feels true where I'm headed. And I mean, as soon as I started teaching, I had students just appearing, so that's always a big confirmation to me. If someone's asking me for something,
it must be what the path is asking.
Why is this person asking me for this? How interesting. Like, this may be something I should be doing. And yeah, to see, I think the most amazing ones or validating ones is this kind of circle back. I didn't exactly answer what my dark things were, but
we'll get there.
But, well, it's when they do it and they come back and say, Abby, this has happened and I don't know, I don't like it. I think this was wrong and I shouldn't have done Reiki, and you know, I can hear the fear, and they've had something
big. It usually pokes your darkest fear.
Yeah.
Particularly level 2.
Yeah. And to be able to talk them through that.
Yes.
And remind them of the tools of Reiki and ask some questions and have a conversation, and then kind of remind them of their own power, and then they go and do the thing that we talked about, and they come back and go, Abby, I did it, and it was amazing, and it was actually really beautiful. I thought it would be scary, but it was beautiful, and I felt so good afterwards, and I'm so happy, and thank you. You're like, oh,
yeah.
I think there's a big thing about, I know from overcoming my own fears, again, you just see how much fear shuts us down, isolates us, separates us from our joy.
Yeah.
And there is this big, this big push to
contraction that happens.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a contraction, and then the mind lights up.
Yeah, and wants to go,
the frequency just
can't
drops.
Trust those people, you need to shut yourself away, Reiki's bad, energy's bad, whatever it is.
It's actually like voices for me in my head when that happens.
Yeah.
And for a lot of my clients, it's the same mechanism that happens. As soon as your body goes into contraction and you have connected to a fear, all of a sudden your mind lights up. It's the only word I can use to describe it. It's like the chatter.
Yeah.
I call her Negative Nancy.
Yeah.
The story.
Yeah.
It's all of that mixed in together, because sometimes it's just imagery, sometimes it's voices, sometimes it's memories, whatever it's coming in as.
And it can feel so true. It can feel so convincing.
Absolutely.
You know, but it's usually pushes you to run away, shut down,
try and get rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my original go-to. Was to get rid of it, fix it, try and stop it.
Yeah, and if I can't, you
go
quickly.
You do it for me.
You just need to get rid of this for me. To be able to guide people back to not letting the fear take over, not letting the story take over, and see that there is actually, like, that is one possibility. You can go down that pathway.
Yeah.
But usually you come to a point where you're like, oh wow, I'm doing this in my job, I'm doing this with people, I'm doing this in my relationship, like the same pattern and that same fear, that same
showing up. And so that's where I come back to yours now, because the reason that you are a great teacher is because you've walked the path first, right? And that's how this stuff rolls. Is like the reason that people turn to teachers that are the shining example is because they've walked the path before.
Yeah.
And then all our role is we're just a little bit further along that path to reach our hand out and say, hey, if this helps, I'm willing to show you.
Yeah.
If you are willing to hear it, you know? So for you, like that path that you walked when the fear was rising, what was that like for you? And what were your go-to tools? Because that's the thing that people don't realize is that with Reiki, we got this massive toolbox. And I don't know how people do life without it.
Yeah.
Because I've been lucky enough to have it most of my life. Where, how long ago for you?
Yeah.
It's only like 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? And you've walked this path and you've figured some stuff out and then been able to help hundreds of people as a Reiki teacher now walk that same path. So tell us about your fear, please. Or what you do when it rises, what it feels like first. When it's rising in you, what does it feel like?
My fear often manifests, like, there's a lot of self-doubt is the main kind of, I can't do this, and, you know, what was I thinking, or nobody's going to come and do this, or whatever it is. It's those kind of, like, self-doubt and lack of self-trust, I suppose.
Yeah, so what does that look like? Because this is one of the things, it's different for everybody. So when that rises in you, is it a feeling? Is it noise in your head? Was it all of the above? Well, describe it when you're there.
Yeah. I guess it's a feeling in my body. It's I feel my mind start to tell the stories, you know. I lose track of that. I mean, I guess in contrast, when I feel centered and sure of myself, I feel quite calm. It's not like a big voice says, Abby, you must do this. Oh, yes, okay, great, I'll go do that. It's like this calm, well, the thing that feels most clear to me is this. I keep maybe having a mental image. I keep kind of daydreaming about, oh, I'm running a retreat. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't try and imagine that. I didn't try and make it, you know, I didn't sit down and go, would I like to do a retreat? What do I think about that? It's just a natural thing that seems to flow up, and I start imagining and then it goes, well, why would I be imagining that if maybe I'm not supposed to go do it? As opposed to when it's a real fear-based, it doesn't feel open and expansive like that daydream where, oh, my mind's just wandering around. Yes, wouldn't that be fun? Oh, I can really see us doing this. It's more like, oh, it's a very negative and shut down kind of language. It's like, no, you can't do that. That's silly. No one's going to want that. It's this very, shutting down. And then in my body, it feels I feel tense. I feel agitated. I definitely feel a tension in my body and this tightness in the center of my being. Yeah.
Because it's located. Like the body, the cells, They're trying to talk to us.
Yeah.
They're trying to show us where this fear is sitting.
Yes. For me, very much the solar plexus.
Yeah.
I'll get this very tight feeling there, and it's not nice. And if I'm not consciously aware of it yet, you almost find your body doing things or wanting to change, or sometimes I'll go into shutdown mode, which is like I just want to go lie in bed and watch TV. I just want to scroll on my phone, and those aren't, I can see those aren't not helping me. Those are not really enriching my life that much. So if I keep listening to that feeling, I'm going to stay in this kind of stuck energy.
So what do you do? Because you're noticing it. That's the first thing, right? Is that which is why I love level 1 Reiki.
Yeah.
Because it gives you the tools to be able to notice.
Yeah.
I'm in a weird pattern right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to take that into my self-healing practice, and I'm going to need to witness this.
Yes.
Not try and fix it.
No. So much comes back to me for the 3 pillars of Reiki, which are really awareness. So number 1, we have to be in the present moment.
Yeah.
Be in the present moment. Before, if I'm going to practice on Reiki for someone else, I need to just make sure, hey, I'm not going from, I was operating in my own life to suddenly I'm connecting with this person. We need that pause and that, let me just make sure I'm here in my body. I'm not thinking about what I was just doing. I'm not thinking about what I'm doing after this. Let me bring myself into the present moment. So anyone, anywhere can do that at any time.
At any time.
And then you're inviting yourself to go, yeah, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I noticing in my body? And then the second one is the intention. So, okay, I'm noticing that. Based on that, what's my intention now? Well, I'm noticing this tight feeling here. What am I thinking about that? What am I feeling? Now, based on that, what would I like to choose to happen? Well, I'd like that to go away. Maybe that's not so nice. Okay, how can I support myself through that? And I know by now to use that word. How can I support myself through that? Because at first it's, well, get rid of it. Oh, yuck. Nat, help me.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
I love that word, support. These bodies need our love and support. They don't have another way to talk to us other than through felt feelings. And most people are not listening.
Yeah. So
it's like the micro intentions. It's like, instead of having the big intention, I'm going to be free from all of this. What are the micro intentions in that moment that are going to help me walk in that direction?
Maybe I will get to be free of it, but for now, there's a bit of a jump from I have it to I don't have it.
Yeah.
What's the in-between? The in-between is, well, I understand now my body's trying to tell me something. I used to see my body as the enemy. Stupid body, why are you doing that? Yeah. This body is me as well. I'm fighting against myself. It's like the bird bashing into the window. Yeah. It's its own reflection. That's what we do every time we go, oh, yeah, God, why? I wish my body wasn't doing this. Well, you on some level are making your body do that. Yeah. So we need to flip it and make friends with our body and say, oh, okay, I'm listening. I'm listening. First pillar of Reiki, I'm listening. I'm aware. I'm present. Yeah. Second one, okay, yes, how can I support this? What's my intention? My intention is to support my body through this. Yeah. And maybe that's, I think I should stop fighting this. What's my action? That's the third one. The third pillar. Do the thing. Based on my intention, what do I need to do now that is in alignment with that? What's the aligned action? Well, it might be, actually, my body is saying it would like some rest. And that's where we can ask that question. Okay, how can I support my body? What's my own inner knowing saying? Rest. And maybe there's that word pops into my head, rest. Oh, hey, you know what? I've been lying here, but I've been on the phone. I've been thinking, when am I going to feel better? I've got all this stuff to do. I'm not giving myself permission to rest. My body is saying, rest. Rest, girl. Oh, that feels better. Wow, okay. Rest. What's rest look like? My muscles relax. I put the phone down. I breathe. I say, I have permission to rest. And I really allow myself to do that. Or it might be, hey, I'm feeling really stuck and some movement might be nice. Yeah. It's a beautiful day. What makes me feel good? Like one of the activities in one of the Reiki levels, we have a list like what makes me, when I'm happy. Yeah. what
When
what
I'm
makes me
happy,
feel good
I
pretty
am.
much.
Yeah, masters.
So
master
you know
3.
what? I do feel good when I go outside and it's a beautiful day and I'm walking and I have my favourite music playing.
Beautiful.
Oh gosh, I feel my energy shifting.
But what I like hearing is that you've asked yourself,
Yes,
your
I'm not
internal space.
Google what happens when I feel like this. ChatGPT, which no, because you'll find infinite answers, but the clearest channel, the best answer comes from within us, and we only need one answer.
Yeah.
We just need one answer.
Yeah.
Not, oh my gosh, now I've looked at 20 different things and my friend said I should try this and this friend.
And you
I'm
go into
feeling
brain
even more overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Throw it all out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're good. So that's my go-to as well.
Yeah.
Level 1.
It's the
Basics.
The foundation.
The foundations. I've finally got my Gasso course up, done,
Yay!
ready.
Oh my god, amazing.
So that's coming soon, which will be good.
The other day I was this whole thing came through about
Yeah.
ground connect protect, which is something you taught me and I teach people,
Exactly.
and it's again a way of really incorporating those things and setting
It
ourselves
is.
up.
That's it. Ground, connect, protect. Come into the present
it was
moment.
expanding on each of those, like ground. What does that really mean?
What does it
and
mean?
What's the things and that can apply to anyone. I mean, anyone can do that. It's not solely Reiki thing, and that's the thing with those 3 pillars of Reiki. They're a way of living. They're a way of self-awareness, and often there's this mental image, and I certainly had it. This is Reiki. Someone's lying down.
Yeah.
Something's
Massage
happening.
table.
Everyone's looking very. You're like,
serene and peaceful.
And if you're not doing that, you're not doing Reiki, and that's simply not true.
It's simply not true, because
Reiki is a way of living.
It is.
And yeah, you can be working whatever kind of job and still be living in a Reiki way and still apply those principles and those pillars and use that awareness to improve your life.
Yeah. For me, it's a spiritual practice that helps me to hone a connection to the creator energy, source energy, universal life force, whatever you want to call that. Everyone's got a different word for it, but it's about building a connection with that energy and knowing the difference between it and other than it.
Yeah.
And then knowing that energy of source has got our best and highest good in alignment, and most other stuff doesn't.
Yeah.
And we have not been taught to attune our attention to that.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe our role has been, particularly in the last 5 years, is to share that information with as many people as possible.
Well,
because they need to know that they've got to find that connection, and they're not finding it in churches. They're not finding it in other places.
Yeah.
So they're looking for it somewhere else. And
well, it's being taught as still an external thing. That's God, and they're over there or up there or wherever. And I don't even so much use language as source or divine or creator or whatever. What I often cue and feel is, what do I say to the Reiki client is lying there, and I might be saying, in this time together, we're putting aside our mind and we're going to trust in this greater aspect of you, the aspect of you that's beating your heart, that's dividing your cells, that's digesting the food you ate. Yeah. All these amazing things that are happening in your body, and you're not controlling them. What part? You're not consciously controlling them. You don't have to. What a gift! How? Imagine if we had to sit there and think, right now, digest the food.
Got to make a new kidney cell now.
Yeah. But all of this amazing stuff is happening in your being. Some part of you
is taking care of it.
Or some expanded part of you or whatever is taking care of all that.
Yeah.
And you cut yourself and it heals it.
Yeah.
And so anything that's happening in your body that is not running the way you sense it ideally should, has the potential to be healed. Yeah. And you don't have to think about it. And certainly thinking, what's wrong, knee? Why are you hurting? Oh, my stupid knee's hurting. That's probably not going to be helpful.
No.
But if we can switch into this is happening for a reason. There is a way I can support my being. And maybe it's trusting that greater intelligence that knew even how to maintain my knee. How does it keep being a knee? That's what I want to start to put some trust in, and
yes,
that's that same place those answers come from when we ask the question.
Yes.
Of what does my knee need? Oh, hang on a minute. That's very different to my mind thought, well, it's because I'm doing this. And then you ask and you receive quite a different answer or image or feeling and go, oh,
yeah,
well, I didn't think of that.
No. Often it's got nothing to do with the knee.
No, exactly. You might be drawn to your foot and go, oh, I've been focusing on my awareness there, but there's something else going on that I'm missing because I'm just staying at the surface level.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what guides us to something deeper.
It does.
I learned health science, and it was very much about the physical body and, you know, how to fix it. And I there was just a feeling there's something deeper though, because why did that happen? Yes, that's the physical manifestation, but
yeah, but before that,
something happened to create that. Your body's so amazing. Why would it decide, oh, I'm going to do this, stuff this up?
Yeah.
So I want to know more about that. And Reiki really was the aha moment, like, this is what it is. This is the deeper thing.
Yeah,
Connecting
to that.
This guides me to why that happened. And then healing occurs.
It does.
Because now I have awareness of that, like we said at the start. Now I have awareness of that thing that I didn't have awareness of. Whoa.
And it's a lived, felt, known experience when you connect to it.
Mm.
And if you're not connecting to it, the only advice I have is keep looking for it.
Yes.
And it is there.
And it might take, I mean, I remember having my first Reiki session with you and going, whoa, and then I think probably had another one or learned Reiki and had these amazing sessions, and you have this moment and go, oh, I am healed. That was so incredible that I'm so healed. Everything,
yeah,
I'm never going to feel bad again. Like, this is amazing. And then, no, sure enough, something else comes up and you sort of go, oh, okay, maybe there's more. And then there's more.
There's more, but it's like it gets easier and easier.
Yes.
It's like those aligned baby steps that walk us in a direction, and those things that used to be like giant mountains that you'd have to climb to get over to the other side.
Stuck in it for
a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe months, you know.
I can do it.
Yeah, in a couple of hours, couple of weeks.
Like some things, I feel, I'm like, oh, something's here, something's wanting my attention, let me go sit with that. Within 15 minutes, I've cried, I've felt, I've moved. I'm with my day now.
Yeah.
And it's just wild, like, whoa, look at that.
Yeah, to go from it being unattainable to something that you know you can attain because you practice it.
Yes.
And for me, that's the thing, it's the practice.
It's the practice. It's not something, well, I've got a certificate now saying I learnt this. Oh, magic's going to happen. No, what I say a lot to my students is, you've made a new friend today. This is like you've made a new friend. This is your friend Reiki. You have to go play with your friend. You have to ask them questions. You have to get to know them if you want them to be a really good friend. Otherwise, if you just leave it at today and that's it, are you going to have a best friend for life? No, you're not. Of course not.
Exactly.
You have to do it. You have to do the thing. And if it's even scary to do the thing, that's a gift. Oh, there's a fear coming up. Okay, that's Reiki already offering you something, already offering you an opportunity to face something that is trying to shut you down. Yeah. And you can face that.
Exactly. Because everyone has got that spark in them, and it is only fear that's preventing that spark from flying.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's like, one of the other things, because a lot of people see what we do, especially on the socials and stuff, and they assume that life's fucking peachy all the time. All right? That
I don't know about with me, because I if something's not peachy, I'm there crying, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm crying on social media again. But
And I love that you
cry.
do that.
I love to cry. I love to show all the facets. It's definitely, I don't think you'd watch me and think it's all perfect.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, because, well, but it is all perfect.
It
I
depends
think
on
it is
what
all-
people perceive. Do you know what I mean?
I love crying and healing and discovering things about myself. So to me, that actually is all perfect.
Yeah, cool.
You know, that's like, I love that. I think that's so awesome. It's like, don't get me wrong, it's painful while it's happening, but also I do know by now the rainbow is on the other side of this cloud or whatever. I don't know if that makes sense, because you see the rainbow when it's raining, but
You do. You
know.
see the rainbow when it's raining, but
And
that's
maybe
what
that's
you're
it,
aligned to.
I can see the rainbow even in the midst of the crying and the pain and the hurt.
Just allowing the process.
Well, it's all, I don't know who decided that the human experience was just, I'm going to say sunshine and rainbows, but yeah, like, I don't know what the rainbow's coming up, because the rainbow's there when it's cloudy and stormy. But it's all part of the experience.
It is.
All the emotions, there's no bad emotion, there's no quick run away, this emotion, I don't want to feel this one, I only want to feel this one. Like, they actually are all part of the spectrum of being a human. And they all have a lesson for us, so...
All of them. The thing that I've noticed now is that most people in my generation, and maybe a little bit before me and definitely after me, we all had it squashed out of us. So it wasn't safe for any of us to express feelings.
Yeah.
And it's only through learning Reiki, for me, that invitation to allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to express exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Even just by yourself. Forget about in front of people and on the line, right? Just by yourself to express how you're feeling is excruciating.
Yeah, to really own...
I'm feeling this, because it wasn't safe to be vulnerable. And it's not our parents' fault, because imagine what it would have been like for them.
Yeah.
You know, is what I always look at, because if it was belted out of us and or teased or whatever, because that was the experience, it, you know, that in itself has been a huge thing to be able to get to just being with yourself to express your feelings.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and yes, you have like this wonderful ability to get on to the socials and have a good old cry and all the rest of it, which is amazing.
And a laugh and a dance.
And a
it's not
laugh
a
and a dance.
Like, crying's not that option. I don't want to say that.
But it is, like, a lot of the time for a lot of people that are in the spiritual community, they're dealing in private with their own things and doing the work, and, you know, are then sharing with as many people as they can, you know, hey, this thing's working, but are unable to do it in a public way, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, I suppose the thing that I wanted to say here is that anybody that is walking a path to awakening, that is taking time out to know themselves better, is helping the collective. Because then it's helping the next generations be able to express, to share their feelings. And we're seeing that with kids. I know that's what I got to see with my kids, it's absolutely acceptable for somebody to, you know, unravel. And it is about the adults being able to hold it.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to stop it or get rid of it, and also giving tools of how to deal with it, so that we're not adults chucking tantrums that don't know how to do it in a safe way, you know? So it's like, there's a path of uncovering this shadow that's deep inside of us and coming to know ourselves better and connecting to whatever it is that makes your heart beat.
Yes.
And your cells divide.
Yeah.
And when you can connect to that, something magical does happen for each one of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is, I love walking this path with you.
Yeah, I love walking it with you. It's amazing.
Like, it's one of the things that that I feel very grateful for is to have walked the path with so many people who, and some of which have decided to go on to teach, which is amazing, because doing this work as a one-man band, there's not enough of us teaching, you know, because there's a lot of humans out there that I'm sure are willing to become self-aware. Yeah. That just haven't found the right teacher yet, or maybe are waiting for some of your students or my students to become teachers because we can't teach them.
Yeah, because we're all going to attract different people, and students I've taught who are teachers, like, they're amazing. I go, wow, I'd love to learn from them and them and them.
Exactly.
And I think you learned from 4 different teachers. Yeah, I did. And you would have learned different things from all of them.
I did. I learned amazing things from all of them. And I credit to them all, because then that's given me the ability to share the way I share. And then to be able to watch anyone that I've shared that with take what they've learned with what I've shown them, and then birth something completely new as well.
Well, that's how I think we both teach Reiki. Like, we don't teach it like, this is how you do Reiki, this is exactly it, and that's how you do it, and off you go.
No.
We're both very, I'm giving you some guidelines, we've got to start somewhere. But the gift is you exploring this and finding, what does Reiki mean to you? How do you use it in your life? When you are practicing Reiki, if it's on yourself or someone else, what are you guided to do? Yeah. You know, instead of, well, this is the only way to do it. Because, I mean, I've taught, and I know you have too, people who've learned through other people, and sometimes they do have these rules and they'll come and say, oh, I just want to check because I was taught that you only can do this, and if you do this, you have to start again or do something different. I'm like, well, I mean, if that works for you, great, go for it. And by the sounds of it, that's what worked for your teacher. Yeah. And of course they're going to teach that to you. But if something in you is saying, I just keep doing it this different way, I love that we can give that permission. You are allowed to do it the different way. Yeah. Because otherwise, nothing in this world would change at all. Like, to me, this seems like the obvious thing. If we all just did exactly, okay, you've decided this is how it's done, now you teach that person, they do it exactly the same, and they do it exactly. Nothing at all would ever change. That's right. We would just be all carbon copies of one another, and
be very
you
boring.
Can just see from the world around us, that's not that's not the nature of this reality. Everything is changing and evolving all the time. And so we are all going to come along and put our own unique flavor in. And how would we discover anything new? I can't discover everything new myself. You can't. No one can. So you need to discover this bit. I need to discover this bit. They need to discover this bit. And it all weaves together.
It does.
And it's amazing.
It is.
I love when people share, oh, I did this and this happened. Oh, cool. I might give that a go. You know, oh, I didn't experience the same thing, or yes, I did, or...
Yeah. And that's where we're at, I believe, is there's enough of us now, especially in our community, which is another reason why I wanted to do this podcast. Yeah. Is we're all at a point where we're connecting to this energy now, this frequency. We've learned to discern that connection. Yeah. We know when we've got interference or something other than, or fear rising or whatever. So we know that we can then realign, recalibrate, and get back into that connection, right? And now that we're doing that, new things are rising. All right? New information is channeling through us. And how do we know that? Because we talk. Yeah. And we sit and we compare and we go, hey, this is what I'm noticing in my sessions with clients, or this is what I'm noticing when I go out and connect to the land, or this is what I'm noticing when we get a bunch of people together. Yeah. And then we're sharing those experiences, and then we're seeing similarities.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is always...
It's exciting.
And whether it's even what you could label positive or negative, it's just always that reminder, we're not alone. There is something that connects us all, because we seem to be moving through similar themes, struggles, new things, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is, you know.
It's exciting. It's really exciting. And then because you have the channels experience of where you're bringing through, and I take a heap of notes, when you then talk to somebody and they talk about the same sort of stuff that you've been bringing through in your channel, that's when my interest is piqued.
Yeah.
You know, and that's I feel like where we're headed next. You know, we're headed into a world where the basics, the people that practice the basics regularly use them as your strong foundational connection, are going to be bringing through new technologies, new ways of doing things, new ways of expressing healing practices, new whatever. And it's all for the betterment of humanity. And it's almost like, for me with martial arts, it's like you get to your black belt and then you become a learner again, like a beginner. And I feel like with Reiki, it's the same thing. You kind of get your Reiki teacher training certificate and you go out there and you start teaching, and really you're back to being a learner again. Because you know your basics, you know how to teach the basics, and you know you're learning then through watching other people learning their basics and then building that connection, right? But what then happens is you start refining that connection and you start bringing through surprising information would be the thing that I think we're looking for now. Is probably the thing that gets me excited. It's when you have the body response of, oh, this seems like something that could be fun, you know? Oh, this is I've heard this a few times now, and we start to see these patterns. I feel like there's a lot of people now that have hit that level. And are looking for, what is this that we're meant to be doing with this? You know?
Where are we headed?
Where are we headed? And what I'm noticing at the moment is where a lot of us are in that phase of, okay, we're in that. So what is it that we're connecting to, and what does that look like now? And then how do we share that? And I know that's put me personally in this big question mark.
Yeah, me too, because I think, well, we're creating a new future. Like and in the past, well, to get to this point, we had to still kind of create based on, you know, we learned Reiki, we didn't make that up. It came to
from Mikao Usui.
We learned, and the people have learned along the way, and so we learned and we used that, and yes, we discovered our own little things along the way, but we still were playing with things that already existed in a framework that already existed. And if we're kind of shifting more into, hey, that's great, but we don't want to just keep rebuilding with the same blocks. We're kind of shifting into what are we actually truly creating, what's truly coming from us that hasn't been felt or seen on this planet or in this reality like this before. And you know, we've had to build a lot of self-trust to even be open to that. Because as much as I said, you know, you don't have to learn it from the book anymore. You know, it's not about what you learn from the book, it's learning to trust that inner channel. There's obviously still things that I learned from the book, like the Reiki and the concepts and all that, and other things I've learned along the way. So, like you said, you know, you think, oh yes, wow, I've learned so much, and then you're like, oh, no, I'm back to like, whoa, what am I doing?
I know nothing. Again.
Oh, okay, I've got to really deepen into that to a new level.
It's like a new exciting time that we're kind of heading into. But it's I still feel like the basics and the foundations
of course they're
going to be what I always fall back on.
Me too.
You know? Because what do? And I did it this morning. I went down to the beach and I sat. You know, I sat, put myself in my zone, picked up that connection to the earth. You know, wow, what a feeling. Like when that vibration comes in. And I just sat. But the feeling that you get when you just sit is bliss, you know? And I think for me, giving yourself permission to do that, to take the time to slow down,
yes,
is needed now more than ever.
Yes. Something keeps coming up lately is, I heard it on a podcast, he worded it this way: we're in a world of contrast, and just that word contrast, it really stuck with me. And it was kind of saying, like, no matter what you see, like, look at the opposite.
Yeah.
And so the world is so fast paced, and most people say that things are so fast, they're moving so fast. Well, if we use that law of contrast, hey, what do we want to do then? Do we want to try and keep up with it? Or maybe the invitation is slow right down.
Yeah. And just pause.
Remember to like and subscribe. That way you'll know when the next episode lands. Next week, we'll be with Abbi again. This is a 2-part series. She'll be sharing all about light language and how that rose up from deep within her after she really kept practicing her toolbox of Reiki.